Okay, so you're saying that you're looking on how to position your people properly in your organization. That's a great question. See, you're an entrepreneur, you're a business person. And so I could be talking to a pastor, I could be talking to a hospital person, I could be talking to a football coach, but here we're talking to a team builder. And the question is, how do I best position my people in order to be successful? I would look at that from two different angles. First, I would be assessing the people that you're looking to actually position into different roles. And then I would do some self reflection and look at yourself, because regardless of how you position people, if you're the main part of the equation and you're not assessing your strengths and weaknesses yourself, it's not going to be really fruitful, and you're not going to be very successful positioning anybody. So first, let's start off with taking an inventory of them. I think right now in a corporate America and across America, we're doing too much positioning of people based off of qualities that are not that important. These are the types of qualities like what you look like, where you went to school, what's your race, what's your gender, what's your, however you identify. All that stuff's great, and I'm sure that it's important. However, I care much more about what's on the inside of somebody when I'm positioning them, because how they solve conflict, what their character is, what level of commitment that they show is far greater than any quality that they could check off a box and say that they have. Looking at my roster, all these people, I'm trying to put them in the right position to be successful for the whole organization. I'm going to look at which of these individuals are more support oriented, like a giver. Okay, which of these individuals are more like I need something, I need to take. Those are takers. Okay, they need to be fed. They're salespeople. They want to go. And then which individuals are what we call matchers. And a matcher would be somebody that's going to provide value, like a consultant. I'm going to share information. I'm going to receive information. I'm matching you in the middle. Second, you've heard in corporate, you've probably heard this SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. Forget opportunities and threats right now. Let's just take strengths and weaknesses. If we take somebody who has a natural weakness in an area and we try to shift them over and tell them to make this their strength, it's possible that they can. You know, with Jesus, anything's possible. However, I'd much rather take the gifts that were given to them and employ those gifts inside the organization and understand what are their strengths, what are their weaknesses. And the third way that I would profile them, first is giver, taker, matcher. Then I would profile strengths and weaknesses. And then finally, take a look at their personality profile, okay? We call it STAR, S-T-A-R. That's structured, technical, action, and relationship. All four of those have a profile in another video that we have that I've set up. You could go look this up. I have it on one of our videos on Leader for Life. It's a whole STAR profile. But that way you could segment people based off their personality, not how they look. Now that you have that assessment, let's take an assessment on yourself after we've done an assessment on our people. One, your level of conviction, okay? How committed are you? What's your level of conviction? For real. And I mean for real. What I mean by for real is this. If you were out in public and somebody asked you, what is it that you do? You know, what would you answer? Okay? Is the answer going to be like, well, I do a little bit and I have this other project and I have this? That doesn't sound like you're very convicted. Okay? If you ask Jesus, what do you do? I follow my Father, the Lord. Done. That's it. Okay? Very convicted. If you ask somebody that's in a leadership role that you highly respect, they probably say, I'm the football coach of Alabama. My name's Nick Saban. Okay? That's it. That's what I do. I don't have a lot of other side projects. I'm not trying to engage in a lot of different things. This myth of multiple streams of income, that's truth and lie. It's truth that eventually we all want multiple streams of income, but it's a lie to think that that's how successful people got there. Successful people got there doing one thing. And so your level of conviction is going to have a lot to do with the level of conviction and commitment you're going to get from the people that you're leading. You're asking people to follow you, and then they look at your level of conviction and they're like, you're wishy-washy at best. That's the most that they could become, wishy-washy. They can't go above your level of conviction. So the people that are going to work close to you, if you're the captain of the ship, okay, if you're the pastor of the church, if you're the leader of the household, and you want to engage other people, if you're running the business, they need to know the intangible qualities that you highly respect, because people seek the approval of others, and your people are going to seek your approval if you're the leader, okay? And then you have to understand what's called your pet peeves. And your pet peeves, you can call them deal breakers. You could call them things that you really just you just don't want to see. It's really hard for you to work with. And even though we all try to overcome and act like we don't have those things, it's totally fine. I'll give you a couple of mine. One, I can't stand when people are passive aggressive. Two, when they're dirty. When they're dirty with anything, their car, their clothes, the way they do things. I don't like things that are dirty. It could be you're slow to respond. Maybe you're just not somebody that responds very quickly to messages, or finally you lack taking ownership. These are I just picked 4 things off the top of my head that are more that I know that if I don't see them in somebody I'm working with, I'm going to be resentful and I'm going to be frustrated, and it's going to bring me down. And bringing me down means I can't deliver my best to the individual. And so it's very important that you make your own list. What do you highly value? What intangible qualities do you highly value? And then what are areas where you need to be honest with people up front and say, I don't like when people click their pens. I don't. I don't like when people make random noises. I don't. Whatever yours is, tell people up front. There's less emotional attachment to that individual because you haven't really engaged in the process of working together yet. Remember, we're talking about positioning your people. And so make sure that you're honest with them up front. And then finally, the last one is this, your expectations. Your expectations. I realized when I got into business for several years, I didn't have clearly defined expectations. And so if I was to walk into your team, or if I was to walk into your office, your organization, your household, and I asked everybody that worked with you, what does John expect out of other people? What does John expect out of you? If I asked all the people that are around you that question, what are they going to say? If they're confused, you're not going to be highly effective in your project, and positioning people's almost pointless because they're not going to get the results that you're seeking. And so all of this will be a waste of time. However, if you tell them that you expect a positive attitude, if you tell them that you expect certain activities to be present, if you tell them that you expect a certain level of attendance or accountability or whatever it is that your expectations are in your organization, you have a higher chance of being successful. And then you don't have to measure and monitor people. You're measuring and monitoring people's behaviors. They will resent you less because it's the behavior that's being monitored, not the person. Their defenses will go down and they will allow you to give them feedback. Leaders like myself, we've messed this up and we're still learning along the way. So as a quick recap, when you're looking to position your people, profile them so that you could help them with their skill sets, but don't profile them by how they look. Profile them by their human nature and their spirit. Giver, taker, matcher, strengths, weaknesses. Are they structured, technical, action, relationship? Analyze your own level of conviction, what you like and what you will not accept. And then finally, what are your expectations so that positioning these people can be fruitful for you and your organization?